Now I'd like to show you how to set the folder inserter up. There is an on-off switch over here, which is where the actual cord plugs into the machine. Just turn that on, give it a minute to warm up. Now I've just turned the machine on. It's telling me to check the water level, which I don't need to do because I'm not going to be using water for this demonstration. But this machine is very intelligent in that it will let you know exactly what's going on with the machine. If there's jam, it'll let you know where the jam is occurring. If there's any kind of conflict in the setup for the fold, it will let you know. So this is really easy to use, and once you understand how the menu functions, it's really easy to use. We are going to select English, and there are a total of 4 buttons here with the little line right next to them. And that will point to exactly what you are activating on the menu. So I'm going to be hitting OK, so I'm going to hit this blue button down here, which has the line that goes right up to the OK. Now, the FD6202 has a total of 9 preset memory functions. It can memorize or store up to 9 different types of folds, which is nice because if you're doing one type of fold on Monday, another type of fold on Wednesday, you can set it up, and it has a name function as well, so you can name that fold to whatever you want. You could have it perhaps say Mailer Wednesday, or you could name it after somebody. You could name it Barbara if that's the person that's going to be using it for a certain type of fold. Right here it says Eric, which is job 7. Now I can select another job. You'll see right here it says other job. I'm going to push the button right next to that. Now I can select between all 9 preset folds. I can go up to 8, 9. I can go back to 1. So there are a total of 9 preset folds here. I'm going to go to 1 just to show you how to set this up. So once you have a fold selected that you want to use or edit, you can just hit OK. It'll take you back. It's telling you to check the envelope type. We don't need to worry about that right now. Now you'll notice here that there's a dotted arrow and a filled arrow. I'm going to be clicking this 4th blue button to activate that solid arrow, which is taking me to the next main menu screen. If you've done folding, it does keep a count right here where it says total. We have a total of 2 folds, which while I was setting the machine up, I did 2 inserts. If you want to reset the counter, you'll see reset count right here with the first button here. Just click that, and the total went back down to 0. Now if I want to adjust where the paper is going to be inserted into the envelope, I can click here on Insert Position, and that brings up an envelope with a little indicator here and a right arrow and a left arrow, and I can make fine-tune adjustments as to where that paper is going to be going into the envelope. You really aren't going to need to mess around with that. If for some reason you are having problems, you can adjust where that paper goes into the envelope, but I'm just showing this to you so you know that it is there. Once you have that set, hit OK. That will take you back into the previous menu. I'm going to want to be on Main 2. I'm going to click Job Menu. This is where I can go in, delete previous preset folds. I can adjust memorized folds. So I'm going to hit Job Menu. Now it is password protected. This is to keep other people in the building, other people who might be using this from messing around with the fold types and ruining a job. So I'm going to enter the code. And now I'm into the editing menu, which will allow me to create a new job, or I can edit an existing job. All 9 preset folds are already filled in this right now. So if I were to click Create Job, it's going to tell me that there are no more free jobs. But that's okay. I can edit existing jobs, or I could delete some if I wanted to create some new memorized fold types. I can delete them if I want to create a new fold type. So click OK. I'm not wanting to delete the job, which is how you'd clear it out. There's also a copy job function. What that does is if you have, say, a few slots out of the 9 total preset folds open, you could copy number 1, fold set 1, over to fold set 2. Basically what that does is it takes, say, fold set 1 you have already set up for the type of envelope you want, the type of paper you want to use, and fold set 2 has not been set up yet. I could copy fold type 1 to fold type 2. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to delete a job. I'm going to select the job. I'm going to delete job 2 for now. I'll hit OK. It's just deleted job 2. So now I want to copy job 1, which is the preset fold 1, and it's telling me copy from 2. So I'm copying from job 1 to job 2. Or I could select, if there were more open job slots, I could select copy from 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, all the way up to 9. Now I'm going to hit OK, and it has copied all of the data from memory fold 1 to memory fold 2. That's just to give you an idea as to how to set that up. Is that making sense? Now to get out of the screen, you can hit the escape button. What that does is it just takes you to the previous screen. Or you can hit this 4th button to job menu 1. Now the job menu is the menu where you select different fold types. You can edit them, delete them, or copy them. So now I'm going to edit a job. So I'll click that. I can select which job I want out of the 9 preset folds. I'll go down to job number 1. I can hit OK right here. And there are several different symbols that you can highlight and select. You've got the top button here, which will go to the right. The second button here, which will go to the left. And you'll see here that the screen just goes around the image that you're wanting to edit. The first one here, the envelope, is where you tell it what size envelope you want to use. So I'll click the edit button, which is the 3rd one down. And right here I can use the down or the up button to select the type of envelope I want to use. Now this is in millimeters, but at 105 millimeters I'm at a size 10 envelope. I can go down, and the longer you hold it down, the faster it scrolls through. Or I can go up, and again, this is just to let the machine know what type of envelope you're going to be using. Now we are going to be using a number 10 envelope. Now, if I didn't want to use an envelope and I just wanted to use this as a paper folder, this top button here will let me select the symbol of the envelope with the X through it, which means I won't be using any envelopes. Or I can go back to the envelope, which is saying I'm going to be using a number 10 envelope. I can select the 4th button, which is OK. And now we've got the envelope set up. The next function here is the paper. What kind of paper am I going to be using, and which trays am I going to be using? So I'll select Edit. Now the first button here is telling the machine which trays I want to pull from. The second button here is telling it what size paper I'm going to be using. The 3rd button here is called linking, which means I can tell the machine that tray 1 and tray 2 are folding the exact same thing. And to keep the machine running in a continuous motion, you can put paper in tray 1 and tray 2, link those together, and what it will do is it will pull from tray 1, and once tray 1 is empty, it will continue on to tray 2. And that just gives you a bigger folding capacity if you're only going to be folding 1 sheet of paper. Now I'm not going to need to link this particular job. And the 4th button here is called the Daily Mail. And what that does is it allows me to manually fold paper. Rather than have it pull it automatically from the different feed trays, it will keep the machine running, and I can manually insert paper into feed tray 1. And it will just pull the paper in, fold it, insert it as I put it into the feed tray. So let's go to the image 1 here, and we'll hit Edit. This machine will allow me to set up which of the feed trays and insert tray I'm going to be pulling paper from. And it will allow me to adjust how many sheets of paper I will be pulling. The folder insert will allow you to do a total of 5 sheets of paper from the feed trays, or 1 sheet of paper from the insert tray. Now, being that there are a total of 5 sheets of paper I can do, maximum, I can set it up to pull 3 sheets of paper from tray 3, or 2 sheets of paper from tray 2, which is right here, tray 3 and tray 2. Or I could reverse that. I cannot do 3 sheets of paper from tray 3 and 3 sheets of paper from tray 2. It will not allow me to do that. It's a maximum of 5. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the feed tray. Right here it says feeder 1 with the button right here. So right now I'm adjusting tray 1, which is the feed tray. Now if I want to adjust the sheets, I can't do any more than 1. I can tell it 0, which means don't use it. Or I can go up to 1, tell I'm going to be doing 1 insert, which is what we're going to be doing during this demonstration. I can now select the feeder button and go up to feeder tray 2, and I can tell it to go with 1 or 2 or 3 sheets of paper. We'll do 2 this time. And now I can go up to feed tray 3, and I can adjust that to 1, 2, or 3 sheets of paper. We're only going to be doing 1 for this trial. And once you've selected how many sheets of paper you want to insert from which trays, you simply click the OK button. And that will take you back to the Documents menu. Now we will go over to the paper size, select Edit, and this is where I tell it what size paper I'm using in each of the 3 feed trays. Feed tray 3 right now I have at 279 millimeters, which is an 11-inch sheet of paper, 11 inches long. Now I can adjust that if I want to, again, with the up arrow or the down arrow. And I have feeder tray 3 selected right now. I can now select feeder tray 1, which is set at 3.5 inches. I can again adjust that to whatever I want, 4 inches right there. I'm going to be using 3.5. And I can select that again. Now I'm on feed tray 2, and I can adjust that as well. Again, it is in millimeters, and that is the length of the paper. So I have everything set up the way I want it. So I'll select OK. So I'm wanting to link the paper. I hit Edit. And now it's showing tray 3, tray 2, and tray 1. It's asking me if I want to link it, number 2 and number 3. If I hit that, you'll see the little link button. It has linked those 2 trays, which means it will pull from tray 3, and then once that's empty, it will start on tray 2. It gets a little confusing because tray 3 is the top tray, tray 1 is the bottom insert tray. Now I'm not going to be linking, so I'll unlink tray 3 and tray 2, but that's just to show you how to do it. And if we were going to daily mail mode, I'd select that, hit Edit, and it just says daily mail. I can select on or I can select off. And I'll show you what you need to do on tray 3 to set that up for daily mail. There's a switch in there. I'll have to switch from automatic to manual mode. Now I have that off, so I'll hit OK. Now I'll hit OK and it'll take me back to the job settings. We are going to now want to adjust the fold type. It can do several different types of folds. I'll hit Edit. Now we can do a single fold, we can do a letter fold, we can do a double parallel fold, or we can do a Z fold. Now if you're doing anything over 11 inches long, such as an 8.5 by 14, you will have to go with the double parallel fold, which is that fold right there. If you try doing a standard letter fold, the paper will not fit into the envelope and you'll have a problem. So in this instance, the most common fold is a letter fold, which is also called C fold, which is this fold right here. So I'm going to select that. Okay, now this 4th tab here is setting up the feed trays again. I'll select Edit, and this just allows me to turn them on or off. I've already set them up to pull so many sheets of paper. I've already set up what size of paper I'm using in each of the feed trays, and in this screen here that says DFC settings, I'm going to tell it which trays I want to be on or off. Now I want them all to be on, but if I were to turn tray 1 off, you'll notice that dot that goes in the circle there disappears when it's off. I want those to all be on. So now I'll go up to tray 3, turn that on. They're all set up to go. So I'll hit OK. So this last tab here, tab 5, is name. So I'll hit Edit to go into there. And I can just keep hitting next character until I have the name set up the way I want it. Now once you have the name put in there the way that you want it, you just hit OK. And now that I have the envelope, the paper, the feed trays, the size of paper, which trays I want on, and everything set up, I can hit Save Job. So now I have Job 1 saved, and it is now saved as Dave. And I can now exit this by hitting Escape. This will take me back to the main menu, and I have Job 1 selected. Now if I want to select another job, I just hit button 2 here to Other Job, and I can select out of the 9 memory saved folds, I can select which one I want to use, which job I want to use. So we're using job 1. Now the auto select, basically what that does is I hit that, and it'll pull one sheet of paper from each of the trays, the 2 feed trays and the insert tray, and it will insert those into an envelope, just to kind of give you a test run and make sure everything's set up before you actually start the job. Okay, so we are going to now run a job through the machine.